guys, it's April. Since it is a little bit past the middle of the year, I decided that I wanted to put together a 2017 favorites so far list. I have to preface it as so far because at the end of the year I will probably do another one of these videos and things might have changed a little bit. Right now I have some favorites that I want to tell you about. They really make me excited and I just need more excitement in my life, so I am going to make myself excited by sharing this list with you guys. So I hope you like it. I guess I don't know where any of that was going. Yeah. I have divided up this favorites list into two different segments since I've expanded my channel a little bit to include coloring as well. So I wanted to do my favorite reads and my favorite coloring books. There will be some utensils in that favorites list because they kind of go hand in hand because it just made sense. I would have favorite bookish things, but I don't really collect bookish things, and bookmarks are things that I just randomly lose. So in the book section will just be books. In the coloring section there'll be coloring books and utensils. To start off in my favorite books of 2017, I would have to start out with A Wounded Name by Hutchison. This is a Hamlet retelling that is centered on Ophelia's perspective. It is set in modern day and it dives into some of the psychological things that go on in the storyline of Hamlet. I really truly enjoyed it. I did a review over this book in which I explain more in depth why I truly enjoyed this book. But it was one of those things that I originally picked up because of the cover, because Brooke Shaden did this beautiful cover, and then I really enjoyed the story. So this is on my favorites list. I also want to bring up The Lion in the Living Room by Abigail Tucker. This is a nonfiction story about how cats became domesticated, and by domesticated I just mean have taken over our home, because as most cat owners know, domestication is probably too strong of a word to use when talking about cats. It really truly is. And since I am owned by a couple cats myself, I found it a very interesting read just to see the history of domesticated cats and where some of their little nuances come from. I found it fascinating. I also have to mention Mistborn, A Secret History by Brandon Sanderson. This is a little novella that is set in the Mistborn universe. It takes a different perspective on the whole trilogy and you get to see some of the things happen from a different point of view and why things might have gone the way they did inside of the trilogy, leading up to some of the things that are happening in the newer set of books. I found it fascinating. It was cool to see some of the back history and get some of those characters back that I really truly enjoyed in the Mistborn trilogy. So that was something that I had to add to this list. Plus Brandon Sanderson is just amazing as a writer and I really love his work. I got a feeling there will be a few more Brandon Sanderson books on this list. Probably a lot more. Yeah, a lot more. And then the last book that I would like to mention is Princess Diarist by Carrie Fisher. I read this one in audiobook format, and just having Carrie Fisher read her words to me was an experience in and of itself, especially since she has passed away. It hit me in so many different ways, and I like to see her perspective on the whole Star Wars franchise. The nostalgia was there. Oh, there was just, Carrie Fisher was a woman I would have liked to have gotten to know. Unfortunately, I didn't know much about her up until now, but now I'm pretty much binging all of her books and things just to learn more about the woman who played one of my all-time favorite characters. So moving on into the coloring book side of things, I first have to mention my newest find of 2017 and what I've really truly enjoyed coloring with so far this year, and that is these Tombow brush tip markers. They are absolutely amazing. They work together so well. They've got this wonderful long brush tip that I really truly enjoy working with. I love my Copics, don't get me wrong, but because Copics are alcohol markers, they bleed really bad. So when I want to still get some of that same blending technique, I go to these beautiful Tombow markers. I don't know where I would be without them. For example, I am still in progress with this one. This unicorn I'm actually coloring with Tombow markers. All of it is actually done with Tombow markers. These flowers and the vines, because I just like how they all come together. And because you get such a wide range of colors, it makes it really easy to get this kind of gradient effect, even though they don't necessarily bleed like an alcohol marker. You can get some really cool techniques with it. So those are my favorite new utensil find of 2017. And then some of my favorite coloring books that I have picked up in 2017. The Magical Guinea Pig coloring book. This is what just really makes me excited. I mean, how can you say no to that? You really can't. It's a coloring book full of guinea pigs. And it is one of the reasons why I remembered how much joy I got out of having a guinea pig, and why I now currently have 2 very naked guinea pigs that are just a joy and a mess and noisy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. All thanks to this coloring book that just reminded me about all of the things that comes along with owning a guinea pig. So this is on my favorites list. And then last but not least, I had to bring up this beautiful coloring book, Pop Manga. I haven't colored in this one yet. I'm almost afraid to because it is so gorgeous. The artwork in here is simply amazing and I like it so much. Mostly I just like looking at it. Maybe I'll get up the courage to actually color in this. I just don't know what I want to color with because most of my markers have a tendency to bleed when I want to do what I want to do in this coloring book. I might have to start playing around with colored pencils. I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me is like, why didn't you order 2 of them? And then you can color on one side in this coloring book and on another side in this coloring book. But that seemed a tad excessive to me. I don't know. So those were my favorites for 2017 so far. What has been your favorite? Tell me down below. I'm really, really interested. And I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.